I'm your rep for Mary's Medicinals, if that wasn't totally clear by this point. A little bit about Mary's as a company. We started in Denver, Colorado, almost 7 years ago at this point. And we produce in 11 states right now. So we actually are one of the, if not the farthest reaching cannabis company out there in terms of geographical span. So it's pretty awesome if you guys have friends and family in other states with cannabis infrastructure. We are more than likely there. We've really always just been about providing accessibility to really high quality cannabis medicine. So diving right into the product line, there's really two concepts to understand when learning and talking about Mary's Medicinals. So the first one is going to be transdermal cannabis versus topical cannabis. Can any of you guys kind of speak to that difference at all? You look like it's formulating.
Well, I'm assuming transdermal would be formulation, or?
No, incorrect. Any other guesses?
It would have to do with going through the skin rather than just on the skin.
You're absolutely right. And so there actually is some biochemistry to this. Cannabinoids as molecules are actually too large to absorb past your dermis and epidermis, which are the top two layers of your skin. So traditional cannabis topicals, that's as far as they go. There is no concern for failing a drug test or any kind of euphoric high feeling with a normal topical. Mary's products are truly transdermal. We actually have carrier agents in our transdermal products, which we have three of. We have the patches, the transdermal gel pens, and we have our transdermal compound, where there are carrier agents that actually push the cannabinoids and the terpenes 7 to 10 layers deep, so they actually are able to reach the bloodstream. Our indica sativa patches and indica sativa gel pens actually do have a high associated with them because the medicine's actually getting into the bloodstream. Other THC topicals, you won't get either of those effects because of the nature of cannabinoids. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. The second concept to understand is called bioavailability. Does anybody know what that word means? Nobody does, so don't worry about it. So bioavailability is the rate at which a substance absorbs into your bloodstream or into your body, okay? So at Mary's, we aim to create products that have a high rate of bioavailability, so more efficient delivery methods of cannabis for more efficient absorption into your body. So to put it into context for you guys, topical products, so brands like Papa & Barkley, Dr. Kirkland, Apothecana, Mary's Muscle Freeze in particular, these are true topicals. So they have a 0% rate of bioavailability. None of the cannabinoids or the terpenes are getting past those layers of skin, so nothing is getting into the bloodstream, okay? Edible cannabis products, and this one usually surprises most people in the industry, only about a 10% rate of bioavailability. When you swallow an edible cannabis product, almost 90% of the cannabinoids and the terpenes get destroyed by stomach acids and digestive enzymes before they reach your bloodstream. Smokables, so cartridges, concentrates, and flowers, only about a 30% rate of bioavailability. You lose more than half of those cannabinoids that you're purchasing and putting into your body. Sublinguals are about a 60% rate of absorption. True transdermals like Mary's are almost 100% bioavailability. So that's why our products may seem like they're lower dosage. You know, our gel pens are only a 2 milligram pump. Our capsules are only 5 milligrams. Our patches are only 10 to 20 milligrams. They are designed to absorb so much more efficiently than other traditional cannabis methods that you're able to not only start with a lower milligram of cannabis, but maintain at a similarly low dose of cannabis throughout the course of your use. So if you're somebody that's using cannabinoid therapies or cannabis every single day and you're using a product line like Mary's, you're able to use less cannabis, which means your endocannabinoid system is going to stay more reactive or more responsive, your tolerance is going to stay lower, and ultimately your costs are going to stay lower as well. That makes sense to everybody?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's really the whole concept of our line. We're incredibly science-based, more so than any other company out there that I know of. And we really are just very patient-focused for all of those reasons I just mentioned. You know, for me, I've been endometriosis, so I medicate for chronic pain. I've been using the same 10 milligram one-to-one patch for 6 years. 10 milligrams maintains to be my dose. So you'll notice with those other methods I just mentioned, like edibles and smokables, those types of methods in particular, you'll notice you have to consistently increase the amount that you're consuming, increase your dosage to get the desired effect. And it's because of the low rate of bioavailability. Okay? All right. So I did forget to grab, I just wanted to show you guys what one of our patches look like. Sorry, camera. All right, so this is what they all look like. They're all made of acrylic, so no latex, no silicone, so they're really, really allergy friendly. Occasionally you will run into people that have an allergy or kind of like an itch to it. They're more than likely allergic to the adhesive, and these people more than often know that they're having like an adhesive issue. But other than that, we've worked really hard over the past 6 years to eliminate any kind of skin irritants and allergies and things like that. So they all look like this. There's no markings on them, so they're really, really discreet. They all are made from distillate as well, except for THCA, since you have to decarb during distillation. There's a huge difference between ours and Papa and Barkley's, if you guys are familiar with their patches at all. Ours are not spot specific. You want to actually put the patches one of two places on your body, either on the inside of the wrist right here, or kind of on like the top side of your foot, right there where you have thin skin and a lot of veins. Cannabinoids attract and absorb into fat, so if you were to put a patch on like a sore shoulder or your back or your hip or wherever it may be, the cannabinoids will just go into the fat and not do anything. They won't get into your bloodstream. That makes sense to everybody? So you do just want to make sure the area of skin's clean before you put the patch on. They're heat, sweat, and water resistant. I wear my patches spinning. If you guys have ever done like soul cycling before, you get like really drippy, sweaty, gross. So I spin with mine, I shower with mine on, they stay on. That's what they're designed for. They're designed for active people, active lifestyles. You can also cut our patches down, which is a huge difference between ours and Papa and Barkley's. They are homogenously dosed, and if you cut the patches down, it won't activate them. So if you wanted to cut a patch in half, which I'll tell you why you might want to for some people and some patches, if you were to cut a patch in half or a quarter, you'll get a half or a quarter of the cannabinoids. But you'll still maintain the 8 to 12 hour time frame that our patches provide. Typically, it's about 30 minutes for people to start feeling the patch. As soon as you put it on the heat of your skin, it starts to activate. Starts to activate, and then yes, it's an 8 to 12 hour time release dose of cannabis into the body. Questions so far on that? Okay, cool. So in terms of the dosing, because of the higher rate of bioavailability, the indica sativa patches are at 20 milligrams. The rest of the line is at 10. Those 10 and 20 milligram dosages are worth a lot more when you're comparing them to traditional cannabis ingestion methods. So we've created a really easy tool for you guys to use, and it's a 1-to-8 ratio. So 1 transdermal milligram from Mary's is equivalent to about 8 milligrams when you're comparing it to an average of a smokable or an edible. So let's take the 20 milligram indica and sativa patches. Multiply that 20 milligrams by 8. This is worth about 160 milligrams of a dose, spread out evenly and slowly for 8 to 12 hours, but comparing it to an edible or smokable. So for most people, especially with the indica and sativa patches, you may want to suggest they cut them down. And again, quarters, halves, however small or large, whatever shape you want, it's totally homogenously dosed. So you can kind of go with the flow on that one. Even with the less of the non-psychoactive patches, you may find that a quarter or half of a 1-to-1 or a THCA patch is enough. And if people are able to use less cannabinoids or less of the dose, saves them money, keeps their endocannabinoid system more responsive, tolerance lower, et cetera, et cetera. Make sense? Okay. Another good question that I used to get as a bartender all the time was if I peel the patch off, this is one method of cannabis where if you're not enjoying the effect for some reason, you can peel the patch off and it'll stop dispensing the medicine into the bloodstream. The question I always would get is, can you put the patch back on? Sure, you can. The adhesive may have just kind of worn off a little bit, so you might have to put it under like an ACE bandage or like a gauze pad or something like that. So, cool. So that is the patches. We'll go into the different cannabinoids at the end since it kind of applies to everything. The gel pens. These look a little bit intimidating, but they're actually a very simple and super cool product. We actually have a US patent number for the cannabinoid application of this product. It's pretty cool if you guys ever want to nerd out and take 10 minutes to look it up. It's written right on the packaging for you. So there's no needle in here. I just say that because these kind of look like EpiPens and everybody thinks that. These are totally pain-free. What's in here, it's called the Transdermal Gel Pen, but it's really more kind of like a lotion or a cream consistency that's in here. It's the same concept as the patch. However, these only take about 5 minutes to kick in. So if you have somebody with quickly escalating anxiety or panic attacks, epilepsy with a pre-symptom, breakthrough pain, anything that requires that really rapid onset, these are the fastest acting cannabis products after a smokable. So how they work. Cap pops off. This end just twists back and forth to lock and unlock. When it's locked, you can't press it down. When it's unlocked, it becomes a pumping mechanism. There's 50 measured pumps in here. It just spits out like a pea-sized amount of lotion. I like to do it right on my wrist. Rub it in. It's not greasy or green, or it actually just smells like terpenes. Rub it in. It's going into your bloodstream again for that 5-minute onset. So typically it's about a 3 to 5 hour dose window. So faster acting, shorter lasting, really incredible on the go, or it has so many different uses to it. Really, you do want to stick to that wrist or top of the foot application, but we definitely had a lot of people find success for cluster headaches and migraines and things like that, putting the gel pen medicine on the temples or kind of like behind the ear area. Also the CBD gel pen in particular for things like cystic acne, small scale scars, rashes, skin issues, things like that. This is transdermal and not just topical, so it's going to get the product a lot deeper than true topical would. Questions there? Okay. Last but not least of the transdermals, my favorite product, which you guys do have. You guys did order it, but it's on a slight delay. It should be here this week or next week. So it's called the Compound. It's a 1-to-1 CBD to THC. This is a balm. It's beeswax and mango butter based, which beeswax is actually the thing that's holding it up right now. So long story I won't get into. But this is a spot specific option, whereas these two are not. But because it's transdermal, wherever you're applying this product, it's going to push those cannabinoids 7 to 10 layers deep. So we have a lot of people that use it for things like Crohn's disease, colitis, endometriosis. Because of the transdermal nature, wherever you're putting it, it's pushing everything so much deeper, so it can actually reach muscles, connective tissues, and joints. So every one of the products I've described thus far, all of the transdermal products would absolutely cause a failed drug test. The only product in our line that would not is the Muscle Freeze, which I'll talk about now. This is a true topical and not a transdermal. So just so you guys are aware, the large one, which I don't think you guys have yet, is a roll-on. The small one is just kind of like a nice squeezy bottle, but it's a cooling CBD topical. So I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with what to use topicals for. But inflammation, muscle spasms, you could use this for something like sunburn or skin irritation as well. But since this is a true topical, even from batch to batch, if there's a little bit of THC in it, because there's no transdermal element to it, there is no concern of failing a drug test or any kind of high. Okay? All right. Questions on those two? Sweet. All right. Our tinctures are really incredible. We have 3. They're all vegan, sugar-free, oil-based. We have a 1,000 milligram THC tincture, which you guys are going to get in as well. Lemon lime flavor. The sugar-free aspect makes it really good for people that are diabetic or that have dietary restrictions. The droppers are measured. So you guys can see the lines there. Hopefully, I can barely see them from here, so I don't know if you guys can. But I believe the dosing on this one, it's a quarter dropper, it's just under 17 milligrams. So there's about 60 to 70 milligrams per dropper, which is pretty big. So it's very, very competitively priced, so I'm sure you guys will have no problem selling through that one. We have really awesome capsules as well, CBD and CBN. Let's talk about CBN for a second. Does anybody know where it comes from? Okay, so CBN is actually degraded THC. When THC ages or when it gets exposed to heat or light, or we actually bake it ourselves at Mary's, THC actually chemically converts into a whole other cannabinoid with different properties. So we have really special ovens, and we also have testing equipment in-house at Mary's. So we're basically taking huge Pyrex dishes full of THC oil or distillate and basically baking it. So I think the reason you don't see a lot of companies making, or really any other company making CBN products, is because it takes an incredibly long time to make CBN. It takes about 1 hour to convert 1 gram of THC into CBN, and we also lose about 30% of the actual oil during what we call the bake-off. So, but when that happens, when the chemical conversion happens, the cannabinoid loses almost 90% of the euphoric or the high feeling from THC, but it becomes about 7 times more sedative when it's in CBN form. Okay. So additionally, CBN only receives into CB2 receptors, which are going to be in our body and not our brain. So you feel CBN, it absolutely is euphoric, but you feel it like a muscle relaxer type of effect versus any kind of cerebral high. And does anybody know what CBN might be good for in terms of issues?
Sleep.
Sleep, good one. So in terms of sleep, CBN can actually induce stage 4 REM sleep, which is really interesting to me because THC, where CBN is obviously derived from, THC can actually block our brains from dreaming, whereas CBN can get us into that deep layer of sleep where we are going to be more lucidly or more rapidly dreaming, which is quite interesting. Other issues CBN can be great for medicating severe spasmodic issues, whether it's Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, tremors, Tourette's, things like that. It can be unbelievable for. You could also say that CBN can be used as an alcohol replacement. You get that nice relaxing sedative effect without having to consume alcohol, which is a really nice option for a lot of people. It can be great for treating anxiety, and we make a really awesome set of CBN products that can really be tailored because it is sedative, and depending on how you're using it and what you're using it with, it absolutely will cause you to be drowsy and sedated and possibly fall asleep. But we make products like the gel pen or the patch that you can cut down, where if you are finding benefit from it during the day for some of those spasmodic or those anxiety issues, you can absolutely tailor a CBN product to whatever you're looking for. Something to note about CBN, it will actually increase the psychoactivity or the euphoric sense of THC. So opposite of how CBD and THC work together, well, CBD will kind of really negate the high of THC when these two are working together. If you're using THC alongside of CBN, you're definitely going to increase that high feeling. So using that as a warning label is really important, but also a lot of budtenders or folks in this industry tend to have higher tolerances than most. You could perhaps incorporate CBN into your regimen while you're using THC to increase the high feeling, but use less THC to get there and bringing down your tolerance to THC. So lots of different ways to use our products. Does that make sense to everybody? Cool. Our capsules are made in such a way that they don't get broken down by stomach acids. We use what's called an enteric coating. So they're only dosed at 5 milligrams, but because of the way that they're made, stomach acids don't touch them. They go all the way to the small intestine. And that is the most absorbent part of our GI tract. So you're absorbing almost all of that 5 milligram dose versus another edible or capsule that doesn't use that technology. So again, being able to use less cannabis and consistently use that lower dose of cannabis. Last but not least, our vapes are pretty badass. I was just showing these to a couple of you a second ago, but we have 3 varieties, THC, 1:1 CBD to CBN, and 3:1 CBD. So our mod's pretty sweet. Adjustable voltage on the battery, a draw time tracker. So if you have people that are looking for really exact ways to dose their vapes, this is a counter for however long you take a hit. It'll go up to 10 seconds max. So it's pretty cool, which 10 seconds is actually quite a long hit. I have a lot of people that are like, that's nothing. But then when they try to go 10 seconds, it's like a really big challenge. So the CBN vape is obviously a big hit for big reasons. CBN in a vape is pretty incredible for the relaxing, trying to fall asleep, withdrawal from opiates or alcohol or nicotine, things like that. Just a really awesome combination with those 2 cannabinoids. Just so you guys are aware, all of our CBD, we have special folks that have created genetics specifically for Mary's. Everything is grown outdoor, pesticide-free and organic in Shandon, which is by like Paso Robles here in California. Again, we make our CBN in-house, so that really sets us apart in terms of the quality. Typically, our CBD tests out at about 80 to 85% in distillate form. So this product in particular, one of our other tinctures called the Remedy, the original Remedy, this has 500 milligrams of CBD in it, 250 doses. Just one single drop is a 2 milligram CBD dose. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of the potency and the concentration there. There's really not many other companies that go to that far of an extent to ensure quality, at least with CBD products. So that's always kind of set us apart. Always what's made Mary's Medicinals really a top quality line. So yeah, I'll open it up for questions now.
With the gel pens, where would be the best place to put it? Same also on the wrist or on the foot for someone who's having like an epilepsy?
Yeah, wrist or the foot really are the best. I just like doing the wrist so I can just go like this. But you're exactly right. For somebody that has, there's so many different uses for it. But yeah, those are really going to be the best places. And then those one-offs for like headaches or migraines, you can go here. But the transdermals are really designed to go into the bloodstream, so finding those areas with thin skin and a lot of veins is going to be ideal. Also, I didn't touch on THCA. I'll ask you guys, what do you guys know about it? Nothing?
Not a whole lot.
So THCA is going to be non-euphoric. And you guys will notice I'm kind of using euphoric instead of psychoactive. Everything we put in our bodies is psychoactive, whether it has a high or a euphoria to it. Is what varies there. So THCA won't have any kind of euphoric sense to it. It's really similar in effect to CBD and THC. You can get the appetite stimulation there. You can have help with pain or neurological conditions, mood disorders. It can be great for muscular recovery as well. So it actually helps with circulation to flush out lactic acid. So if you get in like an accident, or if you're starting to work out, or you're going skiing for the first time of a season or something like that, and your muscles are sore, THC is a really incredible product. And it has a nice kind of energizing backing to it, whereas CBD can kind of cause a little bit of lethargy for some people. So it's a really cool one to try if somebody's using a CBD regimen and their tolerance is building, or they're not getting the desired effect they once were. THC is always the next one I'll recommend incorporating. It's really an awesome cannabinoid that I think gets forgotten about. And the reason that we only have THCA in a patch and not anything else is because it can so easily activate. There are other edible companies out there, a tincture company specifically, where they recommend like not eating anything hot for like an hour before or an hour after if you're using a THC tincture, because it can actually activate in your body, and when THC activates, it becomes THC. So it goes from a product that's somebody's intending to not get that high from turning it into a psychoactive product. So keeping it in a patch allows for a lot safer way to use it. All right, well that's all I've got for you guys. Our website is full of great information. You guys will